So this is the primitive camp area at Anderson's River Camp, also known as Bill's Fish Camp. It is indeed very primitive, just a patch of lawn near the boat ramp on the road. So there must be a bathroom somewhere. I think she was gonna have to give me a key to the bathroom if we stayed here. But anyway, this is gonna be $30 to stay here. And there's a motel right over here for $60. So we opted for the motel for a little bit of quiet and privacy and some hot showers that felt really good after 10 days on the river. We felt a little bad that we got here after hours. We pulled in just a little bit after 6, but seems like it's a early to bed, early to rise kind of a fishing town. But the owner was really nice, made a special trip out just to come meet us here and set us up. Pretty much everyone we've interacted with on this whole trip has blown us away with just how nice and kind of happy they seem. So not sure if it's just the area or just that holiday time, holiday spirit, but that's been really, really refreshing. Also, being able to walk into town, or paddle into town in this case, and get a $60 basic hotel room, really refreshing. There's not that many places we've traveled to where you can do that.
This morning we're going out, we're going to go tag the ocean, do a little paddling around, and then we have the outfitter from White Springs showing up at about 3 to take us back up there. At least we're getting good at porting our stuff all over the place without having to do multiple runs. It is a little quieter without all the loud ATVs and everything running around, but there's still a bunch of them, as you can see. So we decided to go out the back way. This is actually a paddle route that is published by one of the local clubs going out to kind of like Cat Island. So we're gonna circle around and try and avoid boat traffic if we can. So that would be the one restaurant in town. And Jen was nice enough to go get me a chicken sandwich out there. She didn't want to eat anything there because per her, it was all fried things and meat, which I tried to explain the South as a concept to her. We're thinking of moving down here and starting our own like fusion restaurant. It's going to be called There Are More Vegetables Than Lettuce. We think it would just be eye-opening for the people down here because, yeah. Well, you did have coleslaw. It's lettuce and cabbage. We do need to go to Mongolia when we get back. I am missing veggies, though. Oh, yes. I feel like I've eaten enough grease to last me for a good long while. And we're going out to sea. Not a big fan of apartments, but hey. And that would be open ocean. But on the other hand, I really have such a warm fuzzy for the ECT. I think the American Discovery will be that sort of kind of big throw. So we did some crossings in the San Juans, which were big water. I think it was what, like 7-8 miles across there? And those are not the most fun. So we're kind of playing a game here, going through all the little side channels. So we are going against the current now because we're trying to get back to another channel, and we can feel it. We're really having to work. Taters is trying the sun mask thing. We've been looking at solutions for the Mississippi just because the sun is so intense going off of the water. I am a little worried that some of the fishermen are going to think we're pirates. Not a jumping sturgeon, just a little fish. We should have brought beer.
Matthew. It's 10:30 in the morning.
You were out drinking me on this trip. We're basically still just killing time trying to avoid the main channel and waiting for slack. We're actually having to keep a close eye on the map here just because we're in all these little streams. Looking at Google Maps, we can kind of see which ones go through and which don't. Like the one we're in now does not look like it goes through, but it does. Because, I mean, look at that corner. And, you know, for all of the rest of this, it was just kind of like, okay, Suwannee's going that way, we go that way. Once or twice there was an island or shoals where we couldn't tell if this side was going to end up requiring a portage or not. And back with all the people in their zoom-in boats. We decided to go explore because we got tired of fighting the current. Reminds me of the Robinson Lake camps. Hey, ruins. I totally would have camped here. I mean, not under that, but there's no signage. Guessing this was an old homestead. Cool. So secret camp. So we generally had a pretty easy time as far as boats. There were some in the refuge, but it wasn't bad. Down here, it's been pretty bad. So that's why we're sticking to these side channels as much as we can. Okay, so after all this time not having trouble with boats, we just had somebody in this small little channel gun it to get around us and flood the boat. Good times. We're just kind of touring around. We have about another hour to kill before we need to head back. So we had fun exploring out in the bay, but we're kind of wishing we'd come back here more. This is one of the side channels that runs along the Suwannee. It actually exits from the town itself. We found a number of canoe routes that were documented online. You can see there's signs out here about them. The Teacher's Obstacle Course. We're seeing lots and lots of turtles out here, but sadly they're very shy.
After having gone out to the ocean, looped around through some channels, got back to the town of Suwannee, we ventured northeast-ish a bit out of the town of Suwannee onto some little canals that are actually marked as a little paddle route. And it's been really nice.
So many turtles.
Lots of turtles. Kind of reminds us of the beginning of the river, although the vegetation is different. But in terms of the just kind of intimate channels, darkish colored water.
Also Turner River because it's quieter.
Peace and quiet. So it's been really nice. I'm glad we got out to Suwannee and had a day to just enjoy and reflect, see some different. It was nice going out to the ocean just to see a very different ecosystem.
And get swamped by a jackass and a jet boat.
And this is a really, really happy, positive place. Although now we're sad because it's just about time to turn around and go back to the Anderson boat ramp to turn in our boat.
2:28, and as much as we were really having fun back in our little canals, at least until somebody started running a jet boat really, really fast down some of those, we have to be back here by 3 for the pickup, so. Well, no more paddling until Mississippi. Which, I mean, come on, that's like 6 months away. That is a lifetime. I mean, it's one through hike away, one major through hike. And I mean, other people do work things, right?
One more semester.
One wilderness class, one through hike, and then we paddle. And we got our pickup and we are bound for White Springs. And after a long drive back, as the next rainstorm was just starting to roll in, we successfully found veggies and nachos. And it is currently the 31st. We got hosted at the White Springs B&B last night, which was cool since I missed that when I was on the Florida Trail. And now we're headed for the airport and Southern California once again.
We have the best passengers that fly right here on Southwest Airlines.
Yes, unfortunately, we had booked our tickets on Southwest Airlines, which means we had been seeing the whole holiday meltdown play out, hoping things would be back to normal by the time our flight out happened. Unfortunately, we were hit with a 4-hour delay, which ended up sending us to Phoenix instead of Houston, and ended up ultimately losing our luggage. Guess it's New Year's in Florida. You always say that. Standing out in the rain. Oh, that guy's behind me again, isn't he? On the plus side, after a 4+ hour delay and being rerouted from Houston to Phoenix, we did make it to Orange County, only to find our luggage did not, and now we're dealing with flooding. And Jen is so tired, she is delirious. Just documenting taters on the floor. Hey Jen, have you ever heard the term a hot mess? Maybe emphasis on one word, maybe more than the other at the moment. Not a frizzle filter. That's actually how things are going.